Hello everybody, how's everybody doing? I don't know why I just asked you that because you can't answer back. I'm gonna tackle a bit more of this today. As you can see, we've had a bit of a, just rolling my sleeves up here so I don't get my sleeves in the paint. We've had a bit of a change. We had these two standing stones here. You can just about see them. I'll put like a quick wash of purpley nondescript colour just over them, just get rid of them. And the sky was a lot darker, but if you can see, I'm going to introduce more like if you're looking for like a big telescope, and then it's enhanced all the colours, so you can have some reds and blues and purples up here, and the stars going to be yellows rather than just the white, and maybe like a real big star up here somewhere up in the top right hand corner. And what I'm going to do, I've got rid of the standing stones, but I like the idea of having an arch in here somewhere. I like arches, so we're going to have some steps leading up and around, and that could lead to like either stop mid-air, like an old collapsed ruin or something, or they'll may just lead down. So it's like I don't know, maybe there's a river in here, and it's like a pathway into the grounds of the castle or something. You can make stories up what you like. I can just see, I can just still see the remains of the top of the standing stone that was here before, just poking through. You can just see it. I can see it here and here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over it again with a. This looks dark, but it will dry out. So I'm just going to take that across the light. This is the standing stone was going up. So I make an area of the sky that's slightly darker and come across that. I should take the eye away from that. If I need more, I can add more. It's not a problem. It will dry in its own way. Just got some neat red and blue out of the tube. It's just random because it's like space, random space. Oh, that looks very dark, but hopefully that will dry back. The trick is, if you've done an alteration in one spot, if you use some of the same colour you've done on the alteration and introduce that into areas around it, it will not make the area you've done so obvious, because you're making you blend, you're feathering it in, sort of thing. That the alteration you've made, the colours you introduced there, you put around it, so that won't look so odd against that. Again, that's going to dry. Dry back, and we'll see how that goes. We might have to adjust that. It's not a problem. And in here, just that area I could see of the standing stone bit there. So I'm just trying to do lines that contradict the line of what was there before, so it'll fight against it. Just introduced a bit of that purpley colour into that dark, do you call it navy blue? I don't know. There we go, that's done that. I think the real professionals, what they do, they blend it up, taking a bit of that paint off now, but I can slowly build that up with a couple more goes, that's not a problem. Clean that bit of brush off. This dry brush is good for blending. Some paint to dry on that, nice soft one. Already need to invest in some new brushes really. Right, perhaps just a bit more here. You can still see the go. I can see. I'm looking for it, so I can see it, but other people might not. Eyes might not be drawn to it so much. You know. So I've got this dark colour here. I'm just going to do a couple little other random bits of. What was a slip? I didn't do that. I covered too much. Just random little darker bits of. Maybe these are darker bits of space. I don't think you'd ever see the sky like this, but it's a painting, so you can do what you want to do. And then these darker bits, what they'll do there, when I go to put the yellow stars on at some point, these are going to be really good areas to put the yellow stars against, because obviously against the darker background they're going to do their starry thing a bit more. It's really hard to paint and talk at the same time. So I'll get concentrated, and perhaps it's a good thing, because I'll just be painting without thinking, which is the best way to do it, really. Again, by introducing a bit of that to round it, it's smuggling. That's a good way to smuggling in. So at the top there, let's put off the screen, let's bring the painting down a bit. You can see what I'm doing. It's supposed to be fluffed out. Sometimes you put too much paint on, and then what you're doing is spreading it out, but it's far too much. You put far too much on. So the trick is to don't put too much on, and then when you spread it out, it's not going to just keep going and going and going and going and going. Interesting space going on there. Don't matter, I'm losing through the stars that I painted on here, though, because stars are not uniform. They're all going to be slightly different. Put a dark bit down in here, just to give that edge of this castle something to bounce off. That's good. I like that. That's good. Maybe just. You can use tricks. You can use that's what I've done here. Like, see this bit of space. It's pointing. It's pointing at the hares. It says, "Come look at. Don't look at me. Look at this. Don't look at this nebula. Look at these hares, which shows you the focal point." Sorry about the light. I've been playing with the curtains and the light here, and I've given the camera a new mount, but it's getting tons of it. This picture to me in here is really dark, but I'm getting so much. It's not. I'm trying to think if I can hold something up so you can see it a bit better in the shade. So hang on, let's get this over. Got the other painting I'm working on, getting the wave, and I can make see if I can make block the light out a bit. No, it's making it worse. No, just over here, isn't it? Make it too dark so you can see what I'm doing. I can't see what I'm doing. No, I can't see what I'm saying. Tricky. The thing is, I'll do a few of these. Do a few of these, and then hopefully I'll just improve it. I can't get rid of that edge because I put the paint on and I try and blend it out and I take the edge of the, put a bit of white there. The white will help it cover. Try that as an experiment. Because white's a better covering pigment, so. There we go. Don't mind that. Alright, wash the brush out. Right, back to business. So now I'm happy that I can start thinking about this step structure. But the arch is what I'm going to leave out. It's the most important bit. Will give the picture interest. So the steps could sort of maybe come off the edge. You don't want them come up. And how are they going to finish? Do they want to? It's nice to go down, but you don't want nothing too comp. You want the edge at here. You don't want like 3 lines to end where this. You've got 2 lines there. You never, not painting. You never want 3 lines. You don't want the steps to come in there. It's too complicated. So the steps want to finish straight into the back of this hair. Perhaps just start building them. So I'll just step at a time, or I don't know. I've got a bit of old yellow here, old yeller. So if the arch is there, the steps have got to start here. It's just so what I want to do now is basically the not the details of the steps as such. I've got to think what's going to look interesting and fantasy and oldie worldy. So now the steps are turning around, so they're going to be supported on something, but let's make it interesting, you don't want it. That's good. See, it goes up to about around here somewhere. Quite like that. Oh, that's a nice. So they get further away. Again, it's the concept really we're building now, just making up a story. Not worried about too much of the detail. It's going to be the size and the placement of the steps, and I can add all the detail in a minute. I sort of basically drew steps to see how that would be, and then they'd have depth, a certain amount of depth for the strength, wouldn't they? So you go up around there, and then the return, to make it balanced, the return angle would be almost something like that. Maybe a support. This yellow is basically, I'm just painting it so we can see basically. Just making the structure at the moment. I'm not too fussed about much else. don't work, we'll just paint it out. And that's not a problem. Put this cosmic sky back in. I was going to say universe, but it's like a there we go, look. Right, so basic, that's the arch. We have the turn side. It's just got some depth to it, isn't it? Some interesting lines. Put the glass on, what's it doing here? These are going to be blocks in a minute, so we've got a few missing blocks. It's got to look like a structure rather than a the outside edge, kind of like not a handrail, but a again, this doesn't have to be the final colour, but we just want the viewer to understand what's going on here. Some of it could be weathered, or parts of the stone could have been nicked by people to build other things, so we just want to have the idea of a structure. Here we go. Now, because this castle over here is this greeny colour, so it's a yellow and a green mix. Now, if I make the steps from the same material, it's going to help blend that in. I'm going to have to paint the edge of this hair again because I'm losing all the detail down here. Oh, gone. Happy little accident, as Bob Ross would say. Just going to come down there. And then I'll try and introduce some hints of masonry. So we'll have like where the dwarfs, I was about to say, the dwarfs have been building this. Could be the elves, could be an elfin bridge. It's got an elfy type feel to it. Not sure about this side here. I'll have to get a tiny little brush out in a minute just to, but I want to leave the suggestion of steps, you see, so I don't want the, it's got like a rail at one side, no rail at the other. There we go. Maybe a bit dark green. Texture into it now. Using some of these, well, I painted it in this I think that's a good starting point. Gives a bit more to the story there. And I'll tell you what would look good is I need to continue this because it's out there on its own. If I just suggest by the merest, where would it come down to? This could be like the off. This could be the end of the, on the other side of the. So there was like an obstacle. So what I've done, I just let the steps come into the, over to this side here, to the side of the hare, and it just, that line continues. What we could do with is make it darker grey. That's my work. I just mixed a bit of the dark navy blue I was using for the sky into the green. It's made a darker colour. Doing some random shapes into the structure. Whether looking from a distance, it can be vegetation and ivy and stones and that's sort of trying to zoom you in. Right. Right. This is what we're working on. That's a bit better. You see what I'm doing now. Got this. Sometimes I'm conscious of making it small because I can always expand it out. So I don't want it to be. Excuse me, I don't want it to be, I can always make it bigger, but it's hard to make it smaller. colour's a bit wrong, but I'm more interested in the shape at the moment. Get the shape right. Highlights. To get into the tip, I've got some white up here, and I've just got the tip of my brush into the white, and just making a highlighted, randomized. That's around foliage and it's hanging down. Into all random steppy type things. Give it a bit more form. Yeah. Just looking straight at it, it's probably standing out a bit much now, but when that dries back, if it's too much, I can, talking with brushing all that, if you can't know what I'm saying, we can play with that. That's what I mean. If it's too overpowering, doesn't look right, we can fade it back, fade it right. So you're going to just make it out if we wanted to, but so we can let that dry for a minute or two. Yeah, so we've gone from the two standing stones, got rid of that because there's too much uprights. You have the two standing stones. The Hares are sort of, that one's definitely upright, and then the castle upright, and then so we got rid of some of the uprights and introduced this sweeping ornate staircase structure. So I think let that dry off. I'll upload that, and you can tell me how rubbish it looks, or not, as the case may be. But I think it's got potential. We just got to work it a little bit more in places. But yeah, I think I can live with that. Let's see what it does. So if we don't, we'll just put it back to sky. All right. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.